Hello and welcome to Slightly Nostalgic. My name is Griff, and we have watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, episode 10, Jet. Alright, so this is the one where our adventurers meet basically the Lost Boys, like just some rebel teenagers fighting against the Fire Nation. They're all pretty cool, like they seem way cooler than our heroes at first, but then it turns out they're actually a little bit evil, like they're extremists, basically, like terrorists, basically. And the way they stumble into this situation is a bit contrived. Sokka is like, okay, we need to stop flying around on Appa because somehow Zuko keeps finding us. It must be Appa. No, actually, I'm pretty sure that it's that you guys aren't wearing disguises and you keep telling everybody that you have the Avatar with you, which they continue to do. And then after this episode, they totally abandon the plan of walking instead of flying, so I don't know what's going on there. But they stumble into a Fire Nation military camp, and it looks really bad, but then they're saved by Jet and his gang, and it's a pretty cool action scene. Like, there's some competent fighters. They know what they're doing. They got it together. I like how Jet has like these hook swords that he swings around with, and I don't know, all the characters have like an interesting thing about them that's unusual. They could have just made them all like generic, just savage boys or something like that, but they did a lot to make them all unique and interesting. I like that. But they don't really explain what happens to these Fire Nation soldiers. Like, they very pointedly don't show anybody getting stabbed or anything, even though they're fighting with bladed weapons. Like, they don't show them killing any of the soldiers, but then later they're just sort of hanging out in that camp and the soldiers are all gone, so what happened? I want to say right here that I do enjoy this episode. It's a good one, but there are quite a few things that seem very contrived. Like, I've already mentioned the thing about them walking instead of flying. And then also when Sokka starts to notice that something's not quite right with Jet, Katara just doesn't believe him. Like, they've known this guy for what, a day? This is something that's happened before. They meet somebody and then a day later they're all just like, we are best friends and trust you completely. And like, wait a minute, what? I mean, if I met somebody I thought was pretty cool and then a day later my sister was like, hey, I saw that person do something that was pretty sketchy, like, I don't know about them, I wouldn't be like, well, I need to find out their side of the story. Like, come on, this is this is your brother. Why are you assuming he's just making this up? Like, because whatever. But I do like that Sokka was vindicated in the end. He came up with a really good plan. He got himself out of danger and took action and saved all the people in the village. I like that he had a chance to bring something valuable to the table, because like Katara has clearly been using the water scroll a lot. She's becoming a pretty formidable fighter with her water bending, and then Aang, of course, is the Avatar. So he's the only one who's just like a normal human, but this is his chance to contribute something really good. I like that. Oh, and I also really like the fight scene between Aang and Jet once everything has been revealed and everything's out in the open, like, and they have their conflict there. They have this cool fight scene where Aang and Jet are both like flying through the trees. Like, Jet is using his hook swords to get around really fast, and then Aang is using his airbending and everything. It's really cool. They keep coming up with creative ways to have new fights that don't seem boring and don't seem like anything we've seen before. That's one thing I really like about this show, is the action scenes. But that's all I've got for this episode. The next one, if you're following along, is The Great Divide, which I remember a little bit, and I think I liked that one, so yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Okay, bye.